Hey everybody, today we're going to take a look at Grandstand Convertors Sigmatron. Now Grandstand used to make electronic video games back in the early 80s. They did Astro Wars and Munchman along with many others, and this was their little foray into transforming robots. Now the main guy in this series was called Omegatron, and he was a version of Omega Supreme. There was also one called Alphatron that was a originally Diaclone Gats blocker. Then we've got Deltatron, Sigmatron and Betatron, and they were from some obscure unknown Japanese transforming line. So as you can see from the box, Sigmatron is a Jeep and he transforms into a big robot. And if we just turn this round, you can see there's a little bit of bio there for the series. This is the story of the evil Grandstand Convertors. It takes place not in the future, not in some dark and distant corner of the universe, but here and now on Earth, your Earth. Already these mutants have conquered almost all our galaxy, yet because they represent a force so evil, hardly anyone has dared admit their existence or speak their name. But now their name must be spoken and someone has to make a stand. That someone is you. Only you can save the Earth. First you must learn to recognise a converter when you see one. It's not always easy. One minute they could be a car or a plane, and the next a deadly robot. Deadliest of all is Omegatron, Lord of the Converters, and the ultimate mutant. Often he will appear as a tank or a rocket, but don't be fooled, he can quickly convert into a robot of monstrous power. Omegatron has many followers like Sigmatron and Betatron, and there are many battle machines in support too, like the Deltarian fighter, which is capable of converting into over 16 different forms. If you manage to capture a converter, its power will pass on to you. You can then use it to defend the Earth against other converters, but watch out, they're so sneaky that they may just change into something you can't recognise and slip out of your control again. So stick with it and be on your guard at all times, because the future of the Earth is in your hands. Above all, remember, nothing is what it seems. Sigmatron is one of Omegatron's followers. He is one of two warriors, the other is Betatron, whose great trick is to be disguised as an ordinary Earth Jeep, but then change into an evil fighter robot to attack his enemies. So on the bottom there we can see this was licensed to Hales Limited, a member of the Adam Leisure Group plc, Harrogate, England. Copyright 1984. These Grandstand Convertors were exclusive to the UK. Moving around the box, if we turn it round to the back, you can see it's just a styrofoam back to it. That side is exactly the same as the other. On the top we can see Sigmatron in his Jeep mode and in his robot mode. And underneath we've got the same again. So this is how it all comes packaged in the box. We've got the main vehicle, we've got his gun, and we've got his little radar dish. And this little piece is actually snapped, but this just comes off so we can get him out of there. So this is the Safari Jeep mode, and as you can see it's a lot of black, there's quite a few stickers on there. Just to give you an idea of scale, there's a mask figure. So this thing is pretty huge, it's almost 3 3/4 inch figure size, although it doesn't open and let you put any figures in. We also get some accessories, so we get this gun, and this gun can fit on the top there. So if we take a look around the vehicle then, we can see we've got blacked out windows, you can see the robot fists underneath there. We've got rubber tyres, we've got chrome and black wheels on there. You can see around the front, loads and loads more chrome. We've got these little hooks that look like they'd fall off. And you can see on the top we've got this little rack, and there's the big gun. And around the back you can see that's the more sticker detail. We've got a little bit of peel in there. So to transform this then, and I've got to be very careful with this because it is quite delicate, we've got to lift this little section up at the front, and then this front piece will just untab. It is a little tricky. Now you'll see that's on a little plastic bit. The other one's actually snapped off, but I do think I'd probably be able to fix that at some point. And then if we turn it over and just let that hang behind for now. Got these robot arms. Now this one's really tight. If we just bring these up like that, and then these sections here we need to move down, which allows you to open the sides, and they can go back up, sort of waist armour. Then we move this bit out, and you can see the head there. Now this section comes round and tabs on in the front. like that. Then we go down here and flip these bits around, and you'll notice these bits come out. It makes a really worrying click when it does that. And you can hear it now. I don't like the sound of that. So that's pretty much the legs. It doesn't have feet or anything. Now up at the top we can bring these arms down. This one is so tight, I don't want to break this. We've got a little bit of articulation at the elbow. And the last thing to do is press that button on the front, which makes the head pop up. And then we can give him his gun, which just sort of goes in there. Again, I'm not going to push it all the way in. And that is Sigmatron. He's absolutely huge, this guy. Got to be about 10 inches tall. Bit odd looking at the back, definitely. But for its day, this is pretty good. There's no articulation in the legs whatsoever. You've got that on the arms, and you can move that. And the head wobbles a bit because it's on a spring. But that is it. Other than that, he's a total brick. On the side of Sigmatron's leg, we can see the markings. This is Yonezawa Corporation, copyright in 1984, patent pending, made in Singapore. So for a quick size comparison, we'll bring in G1 Grapple. It was quite a big figure anyway, and you can see just how immense this guy is. He's nearly double the height of him. Absolutely huge. So there you have it, that is Grandstand Convertors Sigmatron. This has been Luke, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.